Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone to the Town of Lexington Council meeting. They got me on now. This council meeting is being held at Town Hall on Monday evening, March 3rd, 2025. This meeting is being broadcast live on the town's YouTube channel. I am Hazel Livingston, the mayor of the Town of Lexington, and I would like to introduce my fellow council members. To my left is Mayor Pro Tem Ron Williams.
Good evening.
To his left is Councilmember Todd Lyle.
Good evening.
To his left is Councilmember Jenny Michaels.
Good evening.
To my right is Councilmember Todd Carnes.
Hello, everyone.
To his right is Councilmember Gavin Smith.
Good evening.
And to his right is Councilmember Will Allen.
Good evening.
Our invocation tonight will be led by Sonia Sullivan Clifton from St. Albans Episcopal Church. Welcome to the Town of Lexington.
Thank you. Here.
Yes, ma'am.
Please join me in prayer. Oh God, your will is to unite all people in bonds of love and justice. Thank you for your presence in our world and in this place, within us, among us, and around us. Thank you for each member of this town council and for the citizens they represent in this body. Help them to balance the quest for economic growth with a desire to lift up the downtrodden and to protect your creation. Give them courage to speak truth from their hearts, seeking to please you in all they think, say, and do. Guide their deliberations and their actions, that in what they accomplish tonight, your purposes for this community may be furthered, your compassion clearly shown, and your merciful justice carried out. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, O God, especially here, especially now, and especially in us. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Will Allen tonight.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now call the council meeting to order. We've created a State of the Town video to showcase the town's accomplishments in 2024 and provide a glimpse into the future projects. Let's take a look now. It was an epic year in the town of Lexington. I'm Mayor Hazel Livingston, and this is the 2025 State of the Town Address. We're going to look back at some of our most notable accomplishments from last year and look forward to the year ahead. We opened up the Virginia Hilton Park. This is the town's flagship park, and it's now state-of-the-art. The park doubled in size and has expanded walking trails. The playground is all-inclusive, and the splash pad has been a huge hit. While doing the upgrades, we were also able to keep 1,000 trees, maintaining the tree canopy, which is what this park is known for. Virginia Hilton Park has a meaningful history, and it is now the perfect place to make new memories for generations to come. The Old Mill Pond Trail is also now a popular destination downtown. The trail is paved and it is just over a mile long. It includes elevation changes, bridges, and scenic outlooks. In addition to quality of life projects, Council continues to prioritize traffic improvements. Town Council approved developing the second edition of the Local Transportation Improvement Plan, which helps improve safety, reduce congestion, and improve the flow of traffic through town. The L-tip will be used to identify the highest transportation-related safety concerns in town. It will also serve as a guide to mitigate impacts from both commercial and residential private developments. Work has also started on a right turn lane from Highway 378 onto Mineral Springs Road, which will improve traffic flow in this area. A landscape median island will be included along the west leg of US 378 to eliminate left turn conflicts to and from Powell Drive. The Ice House Amphitheater and Pavilion continues to be a popular destination downtown, bringing over 81,000 unique visitors. There were 9 new restaurants, 6 new retail stores, and 7 other retailers that opened up in the town of Lexington. 6 of those businesses joined us downtown on Main Street. This year, the police department is celebrating its 100th year anniversary. Officers are wearing commemorative badges, and throughout the year, we will look back at the history that made the police department what it is today. Uniform crime, burglary, and larceny offenses were all down this past year. The town is celebrating another year of financial transparency and responsibility. For the 26th year in a row, our finance department was recognized nationally with an award for overall financial health and transparency. They also received recognition for preparing the highest quality documents for the 16th year in a row. To enhance communications, the town's website was updated with improved capabilities to make the experience more user-friendly and accessible. The town of Lexington moved forward with the permanent solution to resolve a sewer line failure in the downtown area. The line that failed dated back to 1925, and it could not be repaired or replaced because it is located under a building. After years of negotiations, the town secured the final property easement needed to place new sewer lines in the parking lots of several businesses that front on East Main Street. The town worked tirelessly to come to this resolution with all property owners keeping the utility ratepayer at the forefront during the negotiation process. It has been a privilege this past year to serve as your mayor. As we look forward to 2025, I'd like to thank town staff for their dedication to the community. I'd also like to recognize my fellow council members for their service and commitment to our town. Mayor Pro Tem Ron Williams, Councilman Todd Carnes, Councilman Todd Lyle, Councilman Gavin Smith, Councilman Will Allen, and Councilwoman Jenny Michaels. A special thank you to Town Administrator Rachel Gleaton and to all of our staff for their dedication to our town.
Nice.
Before we move on to the agenda, I would just like to personally thank Lauren, and Michael, and Laura. You can jump in there too when we need you. But for all y'all did to make that video. I know you, especially you, Michael, spent hours on that video putting it together and critiquing it and making sure it was perfect to your satisfaction. And I'd personally like to thank each and every one of y'all that set up here for making the town of Lexington a great place and for y'all's service to the community. So I appreciate every one of y'all. So from there, are there any deletions from tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we're going to move on in. Council met in executive session prior to this meeting and discussed the following matters permitted by South Carolina Code 30-4-70A. Interview of candidates for Parks and Community Service. That is wrong. Interview candidates for municipal attorney, and advice regarding agenda items. No vote was taken. Do I hear a motion to ratify this report?
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Which one y'all got?
Yeah.
Gavin got that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Next, we're going to do the approval of the minutes. A copy of minutes from January 6, 2025 regular council meeting minutes, January 13th, 2025 special call council meeting minutes, February 3rd regular council meeting minutes are attached. Are there any omissions, additions, or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Councilman Carnes makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams seconds it. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your right hand approving the minutes, and it is unanimous. Next up, we have a public hearing, and we will open the public hearing portion of this meeting. We ask that those that wish to speak to come to the podium, provide your name and address for the record. Each speaker is limited to, I'm going to give y'all 4 minutes tonight since the impact fees is on there and it may have some more interest. 4 minutes, and a timer will be set. There will be no standing head count or opponents or proponents. The proposal of the public hearing is to obtain facts regarding the subject matter. Please note this is only for the council information and not a question and answer hearing. Portion run efficiently and allow all those that wish to speak proper time. With that, is there anyone that would like to speak regarding the public hearing tonight for final reading of development impact fees, phase 1? Would you like to come forward?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. My name is Andy White. I live at 631 Brandon Court in Lexington, not in the town limits, about 400 feet from the town limits. I come to you tonight, I think this is a really unusual position for me to be in. I'm representing the Home Builders Association of South Carolina regarding impact fees. Most of the time I have the opportunity to talk about impact fees, kind of go the other way. I was intimately involved in the creation of the statute that governs impact fees in South Carolina during the 98-99 sessions at the State House. Purpose of the impact fee legislation from our perspective is to do several things. First is to recognize that development has an initial fiscal impact. There's no denying that. When new homes, new businesses open up, there's an impact on the infrastructure, the lifestyle, everything is impacted when growth occurs. And the impact fee enabling legislation in 1999 gives local governments, counties and municipalities, the opportunity to address that initial fiscal impact. Whether it's through transportation fees, whether it's through fire service, water sewer improvements, whatever, recreation. The idea was that we can't pretend that growth doesn't bring a cost to the citizens who are already there. So in that regard, our pledge to the Municipal Association of South Carolina and to the Association of Counties is that if one of their respective members would follow the statute and implement an impact fee in accordance with the law, that we as an organization would support that impact fee, which we did in 2019 and 2020 when you guys did your impact fee. So I'm going to take that hat off and I'm going to put on the hat of being a developer. Before I got involved with the project on the old Mill Pine, which we're going to call it west of Maine, before I got involved in that project, there was going to be a national builder building townhomes on that site. Y'all saw the site plan. When I realized that the town was investing in the trail around the pond, I intervened and outbid the national builder because I wanted to be a part of the resurgence of downtown Lexington. I view that trail as being a bookend and the ice house being the other bookend, and I am delighted to be involved in the development of downtown Lexington. Now, I'm standing here advocating for me to pay $157,333. That's what it's going to cost for us to build the townhomes and the patio homes that we'll be building there. I can't think of a better investment if it will continue to be wisely invested in the town's lifestyle infrastructure and traffic mitigation. That's really all I have to say. Got any questions? So, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for being here tonight. Does anyone else wish to speak to this? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing portion and move on to old business from Councilmember Carnes. Final reading of Development Impact Fee Update Phase 1, Councilmember Carnes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The impact fee ordinance adopted on February 1st, 2020 outlines that a comprehensive review and update of the Development Impact Fee Study Report for Lexington, the Town of Lexington Capital Improvement Plan, the Housing Affordability Analysis in support of a Development Impact Fee Study, and the Development Impact Fee Ordinance is required at least once every 5 years. The Planning Commission reviewed and recommended approval of adopting Phase 1 of the updated items at their December 2024 meeting, which includes the municipal facilities and parks and recreation components of the impact fee ordinance. The transportation component will be updated following the completion of the Local Transportation Improvement Plan, second edition. Madam Mayor, I make a motion for final reading approval to adopt Phase 1 of the updated Town of Lexington Development Impact Fee Study, Housing Affordability Study, Capital Improvement Plan, and Development Impact Fee Ordinance.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
a couple things. As you can expect, I've made my position on this pretty evident, but I just want to take a moment, if you'll allow me to say, I have really dug into this issue. I've talked with Angel from the Chamber. I've talked with several of the citizens sitting out here. I've talked with Andy, who just left. But I have really dug into this issue, and I will say there is unquestionably a benefit of impact fees to this town as it relates to residential development. There is absolutely no question that when a 300 unit apartment complex comes into the town, that it is unquestionably going to have an impact on our system. But I've also dug into the data and seen that it is also having an impact on our small businesses. But I want to make a point clear tonight that the town of Lexington, we can either choose to adopt an impact fee or we can choose to not adopt an impact fee. We cannot say we're going to adopt an impact fee on residential and not adopt it on commercial. And that's an unfortunate reality that we live in, and I think it's inherent upon, we've had conversations on this council, I think it's inherent upon, and I'll commit myself to going to the legislature and asking them to give us some flexibility with that. But, you know, at the end of the day, the impact fee has done some good in our community, and I've seen that as I've dug in and really researched the data. I'd certainly like to give hats off to some of our staff that's worked on that and helped coach me through that and help me understand the impact that it's had on the town's budget. And then the last point that I'd like to make tonight is I've reviewed the capital improvement plan, and I'd just like to be on the record saying that this document that council will be voting on tonight can be changed at any point that council determines that they want to change it. And there are some projects on here that raise my eyebrow, particularly the Mill Pond Park. I've made that very known. And I implore upon the council to revisit this capital improvement plan and go through each of these projects with our staff to make sure that these are still priorities. And I believe that everyone up here on this dais is committed to doing that. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to say that. And I'll
Seriously, like what you said. That's some kind of sign.
I'm done talking. So,
Siri's telling you it's
with all that said, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to say that, and I'll yield my time back.
Thank you. Anybody else have any comments? With all that being said, all those in favor, raise your right hand. And all those opposed? It is 6-1. Thank you. Next up, we're moving into new business is first reading of annex of a portion of Lexington County Tax Map 005497-02-001 located in the 5300 block of Augusta Road. Councilmember Jenny Michaels.
Hello. Drayton Park Companies, LLC, owns owns approximately 2.98 acres on the corner of Augusta Road and Cedar Crest Drive and has petitioned to annex the property. A convenience store is being planned on the site. Properties in the town near this one are zoned general commercial and high-density residential. Augusta Road is classified as an arterial road and Cedar Crest Drive is classified as a collector road. Planning Commission reviewed this annexation during their February meeting and recommended annexing the property with general commercial zoning. I'll make a motion for first reading approval.
Councilmember Michaels makes a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Councilman Carnes seconds it. Is there any discussion on this one?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I think I'd like to ask the planning director if she'd come forward. And I see on here that this property was originally advertised as 6+ acres. Now they're splitting it and creating a donut hole. But they could bring the entire piece in because it's the same property owner on both pieces, correct?
So the front half is being sold to Drayton Parker LLC. The back half, they are not purchasing that, but I've had discussions with the civil engineer, and whenever they have a buyer, they're willing to annex.
Okay. But the same family owns the entire...
Drayton Parker LLC is not purchasing the entire property.
Right.
They have a contract of sale on the property that will be, the purchasing of the property will be completed by final reading. And so they are only wanting to annex the property that they are purchasing.
So they're doing the annexation request, not Ms. Wingard?
Correct.
Okay. Did the planning commission discuss maybe them bringing it all as one piece or annexing both pieces at the same time?
No, sir, they did not.
Okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I wasn't at the planning commission meeting. Just curious, is there any defined site plan for the portion at the rear, or is that to be?
We've not met with anyone yet. We've had a pre-development meeting with staff regarding the convenience store, but we've not met with any potential developers on the rear portion of the property.
And the convenience store is taking the front 2.98 acres? They're taking the entirety of that?
Correct.
That's a lot for a convenience store. So has there been, I guess all you've looked at is...
Bringing your Buc-ee's.
That's a lot. It's a big convenience. Well, I'll take a Buc-ee's.
Not a Buc-ee's.
Put a Buc-ee's there. I'll eat so much barbecue, I'll be 20 pounds heavier. But, so it's just site plan review, because that's I would imagine there's going to be some traffic mitigation measures.
Yes, they've already spoken with Randy regarding transportation improvements that will need to be made.
Okay.
So we've already had discussions, and I think that they're working through some of that. We've not seen a final site plan, though.
And also, I mean, to be clear, this is connected to our utilities, so the back portion could never be developed without annexation.
Correct, and I don't think that there's any intent to not do that. I just think they don't have a buyer yet on that back portion and know what they're going to do with it.
Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. Our next item of new business is from Councilmember Lyle, a procurement policy update.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The town's purchasing ordinance dates back to 1994 with several amendments as late as 2007 in an effort to update that to make it more modern as well as fitting with current market trends, as well as an overall interest in being more transparent in all of our operations. Staff has given us an updated purchasing ordinance or approval for a purchasing ordinance. And so, Madam Mayor, I would move for a first reading approval to adopt an updated ordinance regarding purchasing.
Councilmember Lyle makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Councilmember Smith seconds it. Is there any discussion on this?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
could I just also take a moment to just say thank you to the staff for all the work that they did on this. Particularly, I had 2 meetings here last week at Town Hall, and the work that they've done on updating this procurement policy was particularly helpful to helping me understand the topics that I was here on. And I just want to say thank you for all the work that y'all put into this. I think it is certainly going to yield great results for the people of our town. It may make your job a little bit more difficult, but at the end of the day, we're here to serve the people, and I am just really impressed by the work that y'all have done to be even more transparent than we already are. So thank you, and I'll yield back.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else? All those in favor, raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. Our third item of new business is from Mayor Pro Tem Williams, resurfacing project.
Thank you, Mayor. The February 10th council work session, staff presented a request for additional funds to address needed road repairs. Attached are 3 project options that show a representation and cost projection to address the roads ranked in poor to failing conditions. Make a motion that we approve. Let's see, how do we want to word this? Make a motion that we approve the project to start with a total resurfacing project amount would be $3,927,551. And the funds would be allocated through several sources, which staff will update us on as we work through next year's budget as well. From the information we got from staff tonight, that this may be funded in cash. Just depends on how the budget works out for next year. So I'll make a motion that we get this done. And Randy, how long do you need to?
Hold on, we're going to bring Randy up in a minute.
Okay.
You're going to make your motion. Do we hear a second?
Okay.
He made a motion to do D and F.
Are we good on our motion?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to? Yeah. Second.
Okay, we have a second. Before we do any discussion, I'm going to ask Mr. Edwards to come up and speak to this item so we can.
Can we clarify that motion too?
Okay. We want to clarify that motion. I believe what he said, that we're going to do repaving of D and Fs in the town, and that the money is going to come from, y'all clarify that part.
A combination of general fund balance and general obligation debt.
As y'all go through the next budget, according to what y'all have to have, and if you have to borrow it, you'll bring it back to us to let us know you got to borrow your percentage. But as of right now, you're going to look to try to do it out of the budget, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Hi.
Hello. Do you have any questions for me? We good?
Just that we're excited you're getting this done and you're going to bring us up to date.
I'm excited too. Option C is what was selected.
Mm-hmm.
Would you?
How long is it going to take?
How long will the work take? Mm-hmm. Typically, we give contractors 6 to 9 months to do the work. We'll be able to advertise very shortly and get this on the street for hopefully work done this summer.
Okay. So, yeah, go ahead, Gavin. I'll let you go ahead before I do.
All right, I just want to get a point of clarification, and I think this is more for the people than me, but back at our last work session, you brought us a number of roads that needed to be resurfaced. We wanted to broaden that scope to include Ds and Fs. Originally, it was just Fs, correct?
It's mostly Fs, correct.
Okay, so this would now include Ds and Fs, which is a grading system used for road classifications.
Yes, pavement failure.
Okay, thank you. And just to read in the record, it would include Ivy Park, roads in Ivy Park, Wood Creek, Corley Woods, Laurel Woods, Heritage Hills 707 to 805, Bent Creek, Hunter's Ridge, Bent Creek Plantation, Garden Place, Cherry Ridge, and Whiteford Lakes. Am I missing anything?
That is correct. That is what's listed
Okay.
there.
I did that more just so for anyone watching, they can hear if their neighborhood is included.
Okay, for a point of clarification,
Please.
that doesn't include every road in those neighborhoods.
Correct.
It includes the roads ranked as D or F under
Correct.
our current ranking.
And as you get the bid done and that type of stuff, we can get that so we could post it for the neighborhoods to know what roads are being actually resurfaced ahead of time.
Yes, once we have
Okay.
the actual, which we do, we have the roads listed. We
Okay.
just didn't want to list them all here.
Right. But we
will
can
make
get,
a public announcement when
Okay.
we go to work.
okay.
May I ask one more question?
Yes, sir.
I remember at the last meeting, I had asked you about Mallard Lakes.
Yes?
And I had some residents reach out to me from Mallard Lakes. And I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I think you said that those were Ds rather than Fs, those roads.
It was Corley,
It was Coventry.
Coventry.
Coventry,
I believe
I'm
is the
sorry,
road.
I'm sorry. So can I just clarify that, because I don't see those here on the list. I'm not missing any, but I believe last time we said those were Ds. So can you help me understand why they're not on the list?
Because C doesn't, well, there's actually a couple missing. They were on the back of a sheet. But if you look at the map, option C, they're all listed there and are included, Coventry Lake. If you look at this last exhibit,
Yep.
so Coventry Lake is
I
included.
will admit, when I read my packet, I didn't catch that. So, okay, great. I
And I guess for clarification, what that is.
see those there.
Is it's actually, Coventry Lake is actually in the second option, and the way that works is the third option is adding the additional $2 million to option B.
Understood.
That's how it was broken out, because there was originally money established in the general fund, close to $1 million. So that's how we broke it out for you from the work session, was so that you could do option 1, 2, or A, B, or C,
Got it.
and graduate.
And C is the most comprehensive.
C includes all the roads that were classified as Ds and Fs.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for helping
So
me
I
catch
want to
that.
clarify something while you're standing there. We did similar road resurfacing projects in 2003, 2004, 2006, totaling a big amount. Then another project in 2013 that was 1.25 million. Now the time has come to do this maintenance again, and that the town maintains 33 miles of roadway within our municipal boundaries and does maintain projects when warranted, if needed, ahead of time. I mean, if something comes up, like a huge pothole happens or something, y'all do go out and do maintenance ahead of time.
Yes, so two things. One, for example, Lexington Heights, several years ago, we did go in there and did some wholesale full-depth patching. It was failing rather quickly. And then in addition to that, council approved, I'm not sure exactly which year, but 17 or 18, we did both the Cherry Ridge neighborhood and we did Settlers Point as a combination. We went out and did those two projects. So council has, approved on a case-by-case basis other specific neighborhoods that have warranted it that are outside of this programmed time.
So we're going to do this big D and F, and you will pay close attention, and instead of getting to where we have so much again, we're going to try to get into a plan where Ds, we don't get to Fs.
Correct. Yes.
Ds are fixed ahead of time.
Yes, ma'am. So what
Okay.
you will see later this summer is hopefully come back to y'all with a actual program where we can evaluate all of our roadways and rank them again and get a new up-to-date ranking, and then establish a programmatic way of actually maintaining roads going forward.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Randy, you're going to work with the paving contractors, and they're going to determine how they want to do what roads and what neighborhoods first, or are you going to tell them where because of moving the equipment with cost factors?
Some of all those. Typically, they'll move into a neighborhood, for example, and take care of all the roads that are associated with that neighborhood, and then pick up and move somewhere else. And the way we save some money is we give them a period of time and allow them to leave the town and then come back, work it into their schedule.
Okay.
And that allows us to get a little bit better rate as well for the citizens.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Randy. So with that said, all those in favor of doing this, all Ds and Fs within the town, raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. And our final item, our last item is from Council Member Smith, a sponsorship request from Lexington One Educational Foundation celebration.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Lexington County School District 1 Educational Foundation is hosting its annual celebration on March 4th, 2025 to support School District 1. All the events are organized by the foundation, are aimed to provide assistance to students, its teachers, and the schools within the district through educational and need-based grants. Executive Director Jolie Washburn is requesting a $1,000 sponsorship from the town of Lexington. We all received a copy of that letter in our information packet. And as such, I would move that council approves the sponsorship.
Thank you. Councilmember Smith makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem seconds it. Well, let me back up. Any questions or comments on this? All those in favor, raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. That ends our business items for tonight. Now, moving on to comments, we will see, does the news media have any comments? Are there any questions or any final comments from the public regarding a specific agenda item tonight? Yes, ma'am. Give us your name and address, Miss Paula.
I was about to say, we all know Miss Paula.
I know. But still, we want everybody in the TV land to know her.
Good evening and thank you. My name is Paula Kaufman. I live at 201 Allen Brookway in Wellesley. I am your constituent and I vote. I wish to speak for less than 3 minutes regarding the comments question section on today's agenda. First, I note that the printed agenda published online last Friday at 4:22 p.m. did not restrict my comments to agenda items, though your verbal instructions just a moment ago, Mayor Livingston, did so.
Okay.
I think the published agenda should prevail unless limitations are removed but not expanded during the council meeting. Second, as a citizen of Lexington, I think that I and others like me should be the first group of eligible speakers. You set the policies, we pay the bills, and I think that staff should be next because they do the work. If you'll excuse my back, I want to say thank you. And fourth, third, the public, not elsewhere classified, should be third. Then the news media should have the opportunity to speak. But last, only as an acknowledgement that they are usually covering the meeting from gavel to gavel. Finally, I also think that whatever limitations you choose to place on me and others like me as to time or subject or anything else should be equally applied to all speakers. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. So can y'all make sure that that is included in the agenda from now on? I mean, it is included, okay, but I'm talking about when it goes out. She said she didn't get it. Okay, all right. Any other speakers? Are there any questions or comments from staff? I want to take a moment and recognize our new employees hired by the town of Lexington in February. We have Kelly Risch in the Parks Department and Annie Snyder in the Utilities Department. Welcome to the town of Lexington. We're happy to have you as part of our family. Mayor Pro Tem Williams will celebrate a birthday this Thursday, and he's turning 60 before me. Happy birthday. So happy birthday to you. I'm also very pleased to announce that Lexington County Council voted to reinstate the roads agreement with the town, meaning the county is responsible for maintaining roads and storm drainage for future subdivisions within our municipal boundaries, and they will continue to maintain previously accepted roads and storm drainage. This agreement is vital to ensure that we continue to make progress on critical infrastructure improvements. We look forward to future collaboration and appreciate the county's decision. We very much appreciate them voting and giving that back to us.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd just like to give a shout out to Todd Cullum, the chairman of the county council, for his leadership in that effort and bringing that back into partnership with us. We're very grateful. Thank you, Todd.
And Todd's doing a great job of trying to meet with us as a municipality and understand more of our needs and that type of stuff too. I have a meeting with them tomorrow and look forward to continuing to build a relationship over there. That concludes our business for this evening. Thank you for watching the town council meeting for the town of Lexington. Without objection, we are adjourned.